here is what fascinates me. Let's zoom out on this a little bit, okay? Because right now we have this terrible situation in Haiti. And we also have, a lot of other problems around the world that we hear about: Putin's invasion of Ukraine, the Israel-Gaza war. And what fascinates me is where our national attention is being funneled towards. And obviously, I understand that, we're going to pay attention to countries that are primarily tied to our national interest, or kind of are very influential geopolitically. Obviously, Russia's one of those countries. Israel's one of those countries. So we're going to give a lot of attention to those as compared with Haiti, because they just have more sway internationally. But let's look at woke people in this country. Let's look how outraged they are about what's going on in Gaza. This is what interests me. We have people like we saw a few days ago. There were these protests blocking the entrance of the San Francisco airport, and indeed inside the San Francisco airport. We had someone self-immolate in front of the Israeli embassy because of the alleged atrocities. So we have a lot of people who are very outraged about what's going on in Gaza, who give a lot of attention to that. But then here we have a absolute devastating catastrophe, indeed, by many reports, cannibalism going on in Haiti. And we're not seeing sit-ins or protests at airports. We're not seeing someone self-immolate in front of the Haitian embassy. Why is that?
They also disrupted the Oscars. They were out there blocking
they have just
people
everything
from getting to the Oscars. And before we move on, I remember living through this, all of Hollywood elite and uniting, trying to raise money for the Clinton Foundation to help Haiti. I remember Wyclef Jean from the Fugees doing a song, and he's Haitian. And if you for the interest of pronunciation, it's IAT. IAT, if you want to say it like a Haitian. But here in America, we say Haiti. Anyways, where did that money go? There's no way that money funneled down to help the Haitian people. That is clear and obvious, and there ought to be prosecution going on here. This is crazy town.
So again, why this selective outrage? And I think there's an answer that I just want to float. And I really think it has to do with race. Allow me to explain. We see this with crime in the United States, okay? When a black person is killed here in the United States, generally, people only really seem to care when it's a white person killing a black person. 97% of black homicide victims are killed by other blacks. But nobody cares when a black kills a black. They only care when a white kills a black. Because then it's like, it can be made very political. And that always is very morally upsetting to me, because it's like when a black person dies, or when any person dies, their lives matter just as much regardless of who killed them, Do those black lives not matter because they were killed by other black people? Their lives only matter when it's only like meets national outrage when it's a white police officer or a white individual killing a black person. That has always been very morally upsetting to me. Yes?
I think you should be careful when you say people don't care. I think people do care. I think what you mean is media attention and social media
Absolutely.
outrage.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
I hope I said it, and if I didn't, I'm so sorry. But generally, in our national discourse, the attention and the caring and the media reporting and all of that, thank you, is very, very much more centered on when a white person kills a black person than when a black person kills a black person, okay? But we kind of see this globally, too. We don't just see this in the United States. We see this all around the world, that outsized attention is given when a white country, I'm putting white in quotation marks because specifically with Israel, everyone goes, oh, well, Israel's like a white settler nation. It's actually not true. Half of Israel is not white. Just shows you but they're seen as white, right? But we see this around the world where when it's a white nation harming a non-white nation, that gets way more attention than when it's two non-white nations or non-white people killing and harming others. I really believe that's what's behind it, because there should be equal outrage or equal attention given to what's going on in Haiti, with what's going on in Israel and Gaza. There should be equal attention to the Hutus and the Tutsis and the Chinese massacring, the Uyghur Muslims. But people generally don't quite seem to care about those things as much as when it is a, again, quote unquote, white nation harming a quote unquote non-white nation.
Or even the outrage in this country by Black Lives Matter. American Black Lives Matter. You don't seem to care when you're using your iPhone or your electric car who got harmed in mining the minerals that created that, do you?
Absolutely. There are these despicable videos of people in the Congo who are mining these minerals that we all use in our everyday. And we don't care about those Black lives because, again, it's not, at least overtly and directly, white people killing or harming non-white people. Of course it is, because we're the ones buying the iPhones. But unless it can be very starkly identified as white harming non-white, people don't care. And the final thing I'll say about that is that, to me, that's actually white supremacist. It really is. Because what you're essentially saying, it's not white supremacist in that you're glorifying the actions of white people, but it's white supremacist in that you're essentially saying non-white people's suffering only matters when it's directly done by a white person, or when I can say for my political purposes that it's directly done by a white person. That's giving the actions of white people outside, it's not paying any attention to when non-white individuals are harming other non-white individuals. And it's essentially saying that those non-white lives don't matter because they can't be talked about for political purposes. Just gross.